All eyes on Sudan. Over 14 million Sudanese people have been displaced and 150,000 people murdered since April 2023. This is the world's largest humanitarian crisis. Please include Sudan in your advocacy, in your prayer. To learn, to understand more, I am attaching some videos. In these videos, you will understand what atrocities the people of Sudan has been facing since 2023 and till now they've been executed.
Assalamu alaikum everybody. I feel like I have to address this in a short video about Sudan as many people do not understand what happened. Earlier today, RSF funded by UAE have took over Al-Fashir city in Sudan completely. They controlled it and the military have lost, and now the militia, the terrorists, have took over. Now all of the videos you have seen, from the torture, hanging up the tree, executing civilians, they've been under siege for 700 days, starving to death. All of that will be nothing compared to what these criminals will do after they now officially took over Al-Fashir city in Sudan. And unfortunately, there is not any coverage about it. And the videos that we've been seeing of the women hanged and the men hanged and the execution, these are old videos and no one knows how old are they. But imagine how many atrocity and crimes they will commit that we will not know. So I need a favor from everybody. Please, as much as you can, search about it, Sudan, search on the internet, on Twitter. There's a lot of accounts who post videos. Search and keep posting Sudan, Sudan, Sudan. They need us because this is all about humanity. These these humans in Sudan needs your voice. Please everybody, let's make this strong case on social media because their voice needs to be heard. Assalamu alaikum.
The videos coming out of Sudan today are absolutely horrendous. Videos of mass killings, execution of children, execution of Red Crescent workers, families being tortured, people hanging from trees. It is horrible. If you don't know what's happening in Sudan, a very quick summary. There are two groups fighting for power in Sudan. They're saying it's a civil war, but it's not exactly a civil war. You have the Sudanese armed forces, and then you have the RSF. The RSF is a militia that is backed and funded by the UAE. And you might be asking yourself, well, why is the UAE funding this militia group? That's because the UAE is motivated by two factors, financial and geopolitical. The UAE owns many of the gold mines in Sudan, and as you might know, the UAE is known for their gold, but they don't have a single gold mine. All of their gold comes from Sudan. So the UAE benefits from the RSF having control over the region. It is very much motivated by money and power. And the result of this, since April 2023, when the war started, is that Sudan has become one of the world's largest humanitarian crises. More than 14 million Sudanese people have been displaced, and 150,000 Sudanese people have been killed since April of 2023. Every day I think about how I'm going to make a video about something positive or light and not so heavy. And then I see people suffering and purposely being ignored by the media and, of course, the rest of the world. And I think about, if I was in their shoes, I would hope and wish and pray that someone would defend me, someone would protect me, someone would bring light to what is happening to me, to show that what's happening to me and my people matter, that my life mattered. I don't particularly enjoy talking about suffering all the time. I do it because I literally picture myself in their shoes. And I don't know how people don't. I don't know how you guys just don't ever put yourself in someone else's shoes. If we put ourselves in other people's shoes, so much of the world's suffering would end like tomorrow. Don't speak up for Sudan if you feel obligated or pressured or shamed into speaking up for Sudan. Speak up for Sudan because if you were born in Sudan, you know that you would want someone to speak up for you. That is a fact. All of us know that if we were suffering, we would want someone to come defend us, to protect us, to speak up for us. That is an innate feeling as a human being. And I don't know how so many of you have like just ignored the humanity within you. Our greatest privilege is that we weren't born in a country where there's war and genocide happening. You can use your privilege and speak up for those who cannot speak up right now. You can use your privilege and bring awareness to the suffering of others.
Things that they're doing to women in Sudan is absolutely disgusting. The more I'm reading about this, a 1-year-old child was raped. 1-year-old, a baby. The armed forces will come to villages in Sudan and they'll knock on the door during the evening time with a whip in their hand or a weapon. And they will select the girls that they want and they'll take the girls to another room and grape them all night until they're unconscious. Some girls would get raped and when they returned back into their homes, they would be covered in blood. And these women have not just been raped by the male bodily parts, but they'd be raped by guns, by knives, by foreign objects. And some of these girls are raped in front of their parents, in front of their loved ones, in front of their brothers, in front of their fathers. Some of the survivors have said that they have seen children, babies, being raped to death. These armed forces would then dump the bodies of these children. And I've said this before, you barely hear anything about what's happening in Sudan. It's so quiet. And I saw this interview with this woman that said that she doesn't even have time to be depressed about what's happened to her. She was gang raped by all of these armed men in the most disgusting and humiliating ways. And she hasn't had the chance to sit down and even process what happened to her because she's constantly on her feet trying to survive this situation. The stories that I've been telling you guys isn't even the full picture of what's truly going on there. And they're getting no help from anyone. They don't have a voice. At one point, I had to pause myself and stop reading these articles because my mind was spiraling. Like I felt like I was going to go crazy. And it just needs to be talked about more. I don't see it anywhere. I'll see it once every maybe like 50 swipes on my social media.